Hi, virtual learners. Long time no see. How have you been? Well, I hope everything is wonderful at your end. Join me in another interesting and exciting online learning session. I have a lot of things in store for you today, so lend me your ears and listen thoughtfully. Are you ready to join me in a 40-minute learning adventure? Great! To begin with our session, we will be focusing on this most essential learning competency. Formulate a statement of opinion and assertion. Our specific learning objectives are the following. Formulate claims of fact, policy, and value. Use words and expressions that affirm or negate. And use patterns and techniques of developing an argumentative claim. We are going to utilize the module on opinion and assertion prepared by Sir Wilfred Tatoy, a master teacher of Malinta National High School. Before we move on, a little reminder goes to everyone. Be polite and respectful at all times. Comment what is necessary and relevant. If something is unclear or a little shaky, you can ask questions later in the question and answer part. Just take note of them, and I would be willing to address your concerns the best way I can. Meantime, for us to know and recognize the active learners I have now online, please key in the word present, your grade and section, and the name of your school in the comment box. During the first quarter, I already shared with you what opinion and assertion is and how to formulate them. This time, we will reinforce what we already know and enrich our skills in formulating opinion and assertion. Remember that if you want to emphasize an important point during presentation or in writing, you need to do it in a specific way where it gets through the crowd or your readers and breaks through the clutter. Often, people will zone in and out of your public speech or essay and won't be paying attention the entire time. So you have to make sure that you're able to engage your audience. Let's recall the difference between an opinion from an assertion by analyzing these statements. Opinion. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people have become increasingly fearful of the disease. In this statement, you can observe that the writer merely expresses his idea or perspective in the given issue that people have become increasingly fearful of COVID-19. Let's look at the next sentence. Assertion. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people have become increasingly fearful of the disease as the death tolls rise to 5,000 people. In this statement, you can notice that the writer does not merely express his idea or perspective in the given issue, but he also supports it with a clear reason highlighted in this statement. From the sample sentences, it can be concluded that an opinion is a judgment formed based on one's emotions and thoughts, not necessarily on fact or knowledge. On the other hand, it can be inferred that an assertion is a confident and forceful statement of fact and a belief. Let's go back to the first statement, which is considered to be an opinion. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people have become increasingly fearful of the disease. This sentence is a belief or judgment that falls short of absolute conviction, certainty, or positive knowledge. It is a conclusion that certain facts, ideas, etc. are probably true or likely to prove so. Meanwhile, During the COVID-19 pandemic, people have become increasingly fearful of the disease as the death tolls rise to 5,000 people. This statement is an assertion. When someone makes a statement investing his strong belief in it as if it is true, though it may not be, he is making an assertion. Assertion is a stylistic approach or technique involving a strong declaration, a forceful or confident and positive statement regarding a belief or a fact. Often, it is without a proof or any support. Its purpose is to express ideas or feelings directly. Are you getting along? Key in the heart emoji. If you really want to better convey your point of view and express your claim, you can use more statements of assertion that are really based from facts. You can do research regarding the topic or argument that you will be presenting or writing about. In that way, you can back up your thoughts and opinions with factual information. Since we are aiming to formulate opinions and assertions effectively, it is a must that we do research whenever necessary. Based from what we have talked about, can you help me figure out whether the following statement is an opinion or assertion? Great, let's start. Number 1. The trial of face-to-face classes was canceled by our president because of the discovery of a new COVID-19 variant in the United Kingdom. Opinion or assertion? Comment your answer. This sentence is an assertion because the claim is supported by a relevant evidence, the discovery of a new COVID-19 variant in the United Kingdom. Number 2. Most Filipinos are satisfied with the way our government responds to the pressing issues about the pandemic. Is this an opinion or an assertion? This is an opinion because this statement is not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. It's just how the speaker sees it based on his personal viewpoint. And number 3, police and local officials should respect the rights of those they arrest for violating curfew and other public health regulations, which can be done while still allowing the Philippine government to take appropriate measures to combat COVID-19, said Phil Robertson, Deputy Asia Director. Opinion or assertion? This claim is an assertion because it is a forceful and it's a positive statement regarding a belief or a fact supported by rational details. In giving your opinion, the following steps are suggested. Step 1. Before you express your opinion, make sure you exactly know what is being asked of you. You should learn more about the issue. Step 2. Before you write something, take a step back and think through exactly what you are going to express. Consider your tone and make sure of your choice of words. Step 3. Provide as many relevant specifics as possible when you give an opinion to ensure that people fully understand your point of view. Step 4. Use I statements. I statements are powerful because they promote connection and do not make the others feel alienated or excluded. And step 5. Provide as many relevant details as possible when you give an opinion to ensure that people will fully understand your point of view. On the other hand, in expressing your assertions, the following steps are suggested. Step 1. Be knowledgeable. Before you start writing your assertion, make sure your facts are straight. Do some research on the subject and collect any important information that you might need. Remember, every topic has 2 sides. Step 2. Back it up. Your assertions needs to be stable throughout. One of the best ways to hold up your assertions is to include timely and relevant evidence. Step 3. Be clear and concise. Since each assertion lets you take a stand on your topic, it is very important that you keep things clear and concise. Step 4. Remember the acronym ARE. A-R-E. A is for assertion. Make an assertion by discussing, judging, and deciding an opinion on an aspect of any text. R is for reason. Find a reason that strongly supports the assertion. And E is for evidence. Again, an opinion is a judgment formed based on one's emotions and thoughts, not necessarily on fact or knowledge. And an assertion is a confident and forceful statement of fact and a belief. Keep that in mind. Now that we're done distinguishing an opinion from an assertion, I believe you are now ready to learn the 3 types of claim used in argumentative writing, which are necessary to prove or to support your stand. Let's begin. Claim of fact. It asserts that a condition existed, exists, or will exist and are based on facts or data. Example: Facebook is still the biggest social media network with 1.59 billion users worldwide and with 70% daily login statistics. This expresses a claim of fact because of the relevant and accurate data provided in the statement. Claim of policy. It provides a solution to the problem. It is often procedural, organized plans. Example: the death penalty should be reintroduced in our country because of the rise of alarming and heart-wrenching crimes. This sentence tells us to implement death penalty in our country to revive people's fear of the consequences of law violation. It expresses a claim of policy consisting of an argument that certain conditions should exist or courses of action because problems have risen that call for a solution. And last is claim of value. It attempts to prove that some things are more desirable or less desirable. It is likewise approval or disapproval. Example: smoking is dangerous to your health, especially in this time of pandemic. This is a good example of a claim of value because it expresses disapproval of smoking due to its adverse effects to our health. To better understand the types of claims, let us be familiar with the guidelines in writing a claim of fact, value, and policy. Claim of fact. Claim of fact is clearly stated. Claim of fact is often qualified by such terms as generally, probably, or as a rule. Make sure that the evidence is sufficient, accurate, recent, and relevant, like in this sentence. What some people refer to as global warming is actually nothing more than normal long-term cycles of climate change. Claim of policy. Claim of policy presents a clear proposal. Claim of policy often uses the words should, ought to, or must. It supports the proposal with concrete information, like in this sentence. Instead of drilling for oil in Alaska, we should be focusing on ways to reduce oil consumption, such as researching renewable energy sources. Claim of value. Claim of value expresses approval or disapproval. Claim of value attempts to prove that the action, belief, or condition is right or wrong, good or bad. Use real-world examples or experiences to clarify meanings, like in this sentence. We should be more concerned with whether students are learning and ready for the next grade and less concerned with passing a specific test. Is everything clear? Key in the smile emoji. When we are expressing our opinions or assertions, we often have to agree or disagree with the other person. So as a student, you must know how to show empathy with different opinions and to disagree without sounding aggressive. Let's differentiate affirmation from negation. Affirmation is a statement or sign that something is true, the act of saying yes or of showing that you mean yes or simply expressing support or approval. While negation is the act of saying that a sentence or part of a sentence is not true or an instance of this, or simply the act of saying no. There are words which you may use to express your opinions and assertions appropriately. Here are the expressions for affirmation or negation. The following words are adverbs of affirmation. Let's get to know them. Absolutely, affirmatively, clearly, definitely, doubtlessly, exactly, obviously, positively, really, surely, truly, and undoubtedly. Consider this statement. I will definitely do that. The word definitely affirms the listener that the speaker is going to do the task which is being talked about. Now, if you want to express negation, here are the adverbs that you can use. Nothing, nowhere, not at all, never, no, and not. Just like in this sentence. I will never do that. Never negates the sentence by telling that the speaker is not going to do the particular task. Clear? Awesome. To encapsulate what we have learned today, remember that a claim must be arguable but stated as a fact. It must be debatable with inquiry and evidence. It is not a personal opinion or feeling. A claim defines your writing's goals, direction, and scope. And a good claim is specific and asserts a focused argument. Your claim should invite continued debate by taking a strong position that could be argued. For your queries and clarifications, just simply type your questions, if there is any, in the comment section, and I will try my very best to address them. You have a minute to send us your questions, and our teacher moderator will be gathering them. I will be right back after 60 seconds. And your time is up. I will now be reading the questions you have posted in the comment section. Thank you to our teacher moderator for gathering the questions. The questions, which will not be addressed today, will be discussed and answered by your subject teacher in the follow-up discussion. Our first inquiry is from Malinta National High School. What is the difference between an argument and an assertion? An argument is to show that some statement is true, while an assertion is or is not true or false. A valid argument is an argument in which the truth of the premises would guarantee the truth of the conclusion. Another question is from Genti de Leon National High School. What is the purpose of an assertion? The function of an assertion is to let readers feel that they should not disagree or dispute what they read or hear. Rather, they should accept the idea or notion as an indisputable fact. It has proved to be one of the best approaches for writers to express their personal feelings, beliefs, and ideas in a direct way. And lastly, from Bagbagin National High School, how do you create a strong claim? Well, in creating a strong claim, you have to follow these steps. Number 1, make one point at a time. Number 2, keep claims short, simple, and to the point. 3, keep claims directly relevant to their parent claim. 4, use research, evidence, and facts to support your claims. And use logic to support your claims. Follow the steps and you will surely achieve your goal. Thank you, learners, for posting your questions. Be ready to answer what I know, which will gauge what your prior knowledge is about the lesson. The different tasks which focus on opinion and assertion, types of claims, and affirmation and negation. And finally, the assessment which will evaluate everything that you have learned in today's session. Read the instructions carefully. You can watch the replay if you want to look at the important points of today's discussion. Ask help to your parent or guardian whenever necessary. Enjoy the process of learning. Your English teachers will be checking on your progress in your follow-up discussion via Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet. They will be there ready to elaborate and explain further if you missed something, and they will help you process your outputs in each activity of the module. I am Sir Noelito Reyes, your live streaming teacher. Thank you for watching. Tune in again in our next Valenzuela Live. Let me leave you this quote from Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Stay home, stay safe. God bless everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.